Yeah, Kurt, I know you wanted to talk about this with the whole Owen Power thing going on in Buffalo. And I don't really know how much of this is Buffalo related. But basically Owen Power came out, I guess he did a big interview with TSN a couple days ago. And he basically said like he's not sure whether he's going to turn pro at the beginning of next season or whether he'll go back to college. So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, man. Like Buffalo just seems to be the team that is cursed for some reason, and they can't get out of just being shit. And like pretty much the one thing is why I compare it to is the Sens and Buffalo were both really good teams in the mid 2000s and always like competing against each other and the Maple Leafs in the playoffs, and they were very heated battles and everything. And now seeing how the Senators have kind of almost rebuilt twice, the first one not being too great and obviously kind of doing it over, but they still made a couple of really good playoff runs in that span. And Buffalo kind of just not, they're just kind of fading out, like slowly sinking. Like it's a slow bleed instead of a fast one. Kind of like how Ottawa rebuilt, where it was really, really painful for 2-3 years, but now it's like obviously you can see the up and coming players and how like good the future looks there. And you just look across the Buffalo and they've been rebuilding pretty much the same amount of time and they just can't muster anything together. They've got generational players, Jack Eichel, and they're gonna, by the sounds of it too, with Jack Eichel, they've kind of just parted ways already with everything to do with his health conditions and the second opinion and everything. And I think Jack Eichel just wants to get out of there, man. And I think a lot of people, even the Sabres fans, can agree that that's the right decision at this time because he's put in the effort. And look at how many great players left, Ryan O'Reilly, and they're just kind of not producing any good, like real playoff talent right now. So I don't blame Owen Power at all, to be honest. Like it's kind of selfish, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I think I'm not sure how much of it is actually him not wanting to play for the Sabres.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like, I guess it hadn't occurred to me, but I guess like if you're from Mississauga or like Toronto area, playing in Buffalo is like the next closest you can get to playing in Toronto, right? So there's a positive in that sense. Like he's not too far from home, so it'd be easy to make trips across the border every once in a while. Maybe not mid-season, but and also the fact like if you're a highly touted prospect, right, going in and you're choosing like wanting to go OHL and the NCAA route, if you're choosing the NCAA, chances are it's because you want that like college experience, right? And this is something he said where he's like, I kind of came here for that. I didn't really get it this year as a freshman because of COVID and everything. So I would understand it if he just wanted to go back and maybe get after it a little bit and, obviously have another good season. But like playing that actual Frozen Four with fans in the building and stuff like that. So I would understand it from that perspective. And it's not like Buffalo needs him next year, right?
Yeah.
So like,
you don't need anybody anytime soon.
Yeah, dude, you're avoiding 1 year of just absolute shitstorm. Like, why not? There doesn't really seem to be a downside for me. But it is interesting with the Jack Eichel stuff because Elliot Friedman said in an interview on Buffalo Sports Radio, I think 2 days ago, said that he thought Buffalo was looking to trade Eichel just as much as Eichel wanted out. So it really does look like a deal is going to get done there, probably this offseason. And like it, as you said, Kurt, it looks like they're finally going the route of the Sens where you have a generational player, you trade him for a shit ton of draft picks and prospects and commit to the rebuild from there. I guess like obviously their previous rebuild didn't work out and they still have good young talent. And I mean, if they do get Power, him and Deline as like your two defensemen to build a team around is pretty damn good. But man, like why in the world you would look to trade? I feel like you want to build with him. He's so fucking good. And it's just another like kick to the cock of Buffalo Sabres fans. Like, God, dude.
Well, like, okay, and a lot of people have said too, this is the part I found interesting was like, you could say that it was just because he wanted to play college for another year, but it was just kind of the timing was a little bit, the timing was the only issue that I think people would have with it is like, the draft lottery happened. We found out Buffalo got the first pick. And then it, like not too far after that, it was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go back for another year of college. And it was like,
yeah.
Wait, what? Like up until now, you've been pretty dead set on being part of the NHL next year. So